Okay, here we go. We're going to stay with the 8 basic moves of the Strong Women, Strong Men, Stay Young, because I'm trying to get that in your head. Whatever else you're doing, these cover your bases as far as balance and mobility. And these are the 8 moves that they used in a huge research study back in the 90s to show absolutely that loading is what you have to start doing systematically for your bones and your muscles. Not just your muscles, your bones. Okay, here we go. So we have the 8 moves. We're going to start warming up. I'm going to grab my little tea towel. Okay, and always have a pole somewhere where you can get at it if you need it for balance, etc. Okay, come on, Mac, you gotta go lay down. Mac is having a problem. Come on, Mac. Come on. Lay down. Gotta get my dog situated. Okay, here we go. Right here, we're gonna bring it here and we're gonna go into, in a gentle way, some of the basic moves that we're gonna be doing. So I got my tea towel. I'm just gonna take a walk, just like this, couple of steps. When I get to this point in this little warm-up move, I'm gonna bring my elbows kind of back. I'm not gonna bring them up like this, which is what a lot of people wanna do. So I'm gonna take steps around with my tea towel. It could be a pole. And then I'm gonna go back with my elbows just to get my shoulders going. So see, I'm gonna go step. And when I come here, I'm gonna go back, not necessarily up yet. Okay, then I'm gonna go turn, take a little step, turn. So I'm doing a lot of front to backs. Okay, turn. See, it's just a high dip. It's a high dip. Now, one of the things, several of the things that I would say to you while we're going through these first couple minutes of warming up, watch how you're walking. See, watch how you're taking those steps. So whenever I'm stepping, I'm being very conscious of my propensity to do the wobble walk, which I could wobble really big if I wasn't thinking about it. So here's my stepping without thinking about it. So I've got my arms going, but if I'm not thinking about it, I would be wobbling back and forth. So how do I not do that? Number one, when you have replaced joints, things have to change a little. So your posture set is super important. Lowering your center of gravity through a softened, not a locked joint in your knee and your hip is a big deal in helping to mitigate this wobbling. See what I'm doing with my elbows? See, I'm not going up with my elbows yet, okay? And in the process of doing this work, I want to open through the chest. When I open through the chest, I take down the tightness that's here. And why do we have so much tightness here? Because we are lax back here, because this is the way we slump around. And this is the way we cook. And this is the way we do our computer. And this is the way we drive. You understand? Yeah? So is this resonating? Yeah, it is with me. So again, recap. As I'm stepping, you mitigate your wobbling when you just hit those postural parameters. Now, while I'm talking, I'm doing, so I'm hoping you're doing it too. See this? See, my shoulders are down, and I'm overemphasizing, of course, the lowering of my center of gravity, okay? And as you walk back, you gotta think about what you're doing, okay? As you're walking forward, but especially when you're walking back. Now, once I've done this with my shoulders in a lower in a lower position. Then I'm going to go to the side. And I've got my shoulders down, my rib cage up, and I'm opening right here. See that? Then I'm going to go here. But what really pulls it in is you say rib cage up right now and pull that arm back. Step. See that? Now keep your elbows down. Walk back. Get the heel up. Walk back. Get the heel up. Yeah. Here we go. See that? Keep those shoulders down. Keep your elbow down. And you're carefully doing a forward walk with a knee bend. Okay, it's not even just a softness, it's a knee bend, which leads us into lunge walks. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to go forward, say rib cage up, open, bend that back knee down, forward, drop your shoulders, bend that back knee down, make sure your toes are forward. Yeah, just like that. After you get through with these few minutes, and it's just a few of these kind of rotationals in a lower position, being very careful how you're ambulating, your shoulders, your back, your neck is going to start feeling better. I'm going to step out, step in, step out, step in, step out, step in. Okay, now I'm going to change the arms. I'm going to step out, but now I'm going to go up. Okay, so you notice that's one of the first times that I've taken that arm all the way up. Many of us in this class and people, any class I've ever taught, I'm going to have probably, I would say 30%, if not even more, of the class has a shoulder issue. Okay, so I'm not going up both hands at the same time. I am stepping out, toes forward, rib cage up. See, the minute many of you stepped out right then, you know what you did? I'm going to turn to the side. I want you to watch. You did this. You stepped out, but you did this. I know you did. So I'm calling you on it. Okay, and how do I know you did? Because this is class for slugs. And I know what slugs do. Rib cage up. And actually, if you told anybody about this class, see, step out, arm up. Yeah? Bring her down. Okay? Slowly, I'm bringing my elbows up. I don't know if you've noticed that. So now I'm going to step out. And when I stepped out, what did I do? I said rib cage up. Because I don't want to be hunching over when I step out. Now I bring that arm up. Okay? Carefully, hanging on to this. Bring her down. Bring her in. Take a big deep breath. And see how those elbows are going up further? So the one move that is take 1, 2, 3 step and then drop. 1, 2, 3 step, drop that knee. See, I've got my ends of my tea towels right here. I'm just going back right now. And I'm not just going back. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, step, drop, pull. Yeah. Drop your shoulders. That's absolutely number 1. Rib cage up. Number 2. Drop the knee down and pull the shoulder blades together. Then bring it back. Why is this important? Because you got to get your joints on board before you start loading. Okay, do you see what I'm doing? So now I'm doing rotationals, big rotationals with those shoulders. And if I broke it down as I continue to ambulate, okay, I'm doing one at a time. Bring the shoulder up, all the way up to the ear, pull it back, push it down, bring it forward. That's how you do it. You don't just do this. You really pull that around. Pull that around. You do it forward and backward. Yes. Take a big deep breath. So back to what I was going to make a statement. Sometimes I remember these things. Take a big breath through your nose, always through your nose. And when you come up to this point and you're continually doing this rotational, when you come to pull it up, make sure you put the shoulder down. It's that down as you tilt your head that's huge for your neck. Big breath. So what I was saying is most people that you would tell about, well, what is she doing in her class? Yeah, I approach it a little, I won't say slowly, I will say measured, because so many people do not take care to get their posture lined up. Okay, now what am I doing? I'm doing repeated forward and backward lunging. And why is this so important? So yeah, we could do, forward walks and all that. Notice the heel. Notice your heel. So when you drop, make sure you're not leaning, okay? You want to say rib cage up, and you want to try to keep your heels down. So like right here, this one on me wants to come up. So I'm only going to go as far as the heel will let me go in a down position, okay? Why is it so important? Because these rotations that I'm going through right now, especially for people that have had plantar fasciitis type issues, they're always thinking, how do I stretch my calves? How do I stretch my calves? This is one of the ways right here, okay? Yeah, you can do your classic ones, but this right here, this walking through, repeated, see, I'm not just holding on to it. And while I'm doing this, I can do my shoulders, okay? The reason I didn't, or I don't sometimes work through the upper body and the lower body is because people have to think about their positioning while they're doing this kind of a thing. And I'm doing this functionally. I'm doing this warm up functionally. What does that mean? It means I'm not just steady stating, I'm not just holding a stretch. That's what that means. Now I'm going to go to the other leg. So when I step out and I drop the knee, I keep my heel down and back, okay? Take a breath, then you come up and you drop down, okay? Keep the heel down and you come up, and if you've got that going, let's see, if you still are stepping forward and back right now, and you're either leaning or you're shunting your chin up, or you are not keeping your heels down, then you've got to focus on that. So don't do something upper body that's going to take away that focus. And I can tell you that for me, whenever I'm stepping like this, if I'm not thinking about it, if I'm not slowing myself down, aligning myself back up as I bend my knee, I'm going to raise my heel, okay? That's not going to get into that those lower muscles all through your legs, your calf, your foot, enough to really help that ankle and that plantar fasciitis out. So this little step through, this little move, executed properly, getting down into there, into those very tight muscles and joints and ligaments and tendons that hang on to the muscles and joints, okay? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Okay, so once we've done that, we've stepped through, we've done lunge forward and back, high. We've done shoulder rotations, yes. We've gone side to sides, yeah. Take a big deep breath. Bring your hand with the towel up over your head. So this is the last one before we start picking up weights. or putting them on our ankles. I wanted to do all these steppy through things before I did that. So I stepped through, see that? Then my leg is back, and this is up over my head. Now, correct, and push your hips forward. You're gonna feel a stretch. Yes, you will. Okay, come back, switch, step forward, and just leave this leg back here because it's the forward leg and the hand goes up on the forward leg. Same side. Got that? Okay, correct out. All right. And then push your hips forward. Yes, you push your hip bones. The forward, the anterior, these. Forward, and then come out of that. All right. Big deep breaths. Right now, you should feel better just from going through that if you were being very careful about how you were doing it. All right. I got my leggy weights. And next week, when I do this, I'm going to increase my weights on my leg. Why? Because I need to be moving toward doing some of these moves with a bigger weight. And for most of us in this class, in this age range, we should be able to do some of these moves that I'm showing you with at least 10 pounds. Some of you with 12 pounds, up to 15 pounds maybe. Okay? So, I am going to take my little pad here, put it on my chair. I'm going to be right here so you can see what I'm doing. Okay? So I'm right here. See, it raised me 2 inches. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pull my toes up. That's number 1. Number 2, take a big breath. Number 3, situate yourself so that your leg is fully supported, but that you can open at the hip at least a couple inches. You want to open here without doing anything except extending your back. You got it? Now, when we go to this lift, my toes are up. I can hold here, but my hips have to be open. So whatever you have to do to get it so that you can go forward and back, whatever you have to do, do it. Okay? You ready? Come in forward. Toes are up. Open. Drop your shoulders. Rib cage up. Take a breath. And extend. See that? Go to the toe, the heel, and then extend. So it's going to be 1. I'm sorry, that's 3. Okay, that's 4. See what I'm doing? See, I'm going to the heel. My toe is up, so I'm in dorsiflexion. When you come up to the very top with this leg weight on, you got to hesitate. You got to hesitate. So drop your shoulders. Get even from side to side. Open. Rib cage up. And you're bringing that leg up. Okay, that's the first set. Lean in. Big breath. Okay, open. Drop your shoulders. Rib cage up. Here we go with the heel. And I'm going to come up. And I'm going to hesitate for just a second or 2. Right there. Breath. Big breath. Hang in there with me. Hold for just a couple seconds. Just a couple seconds right there. Okay? Just 1,000, 1,002. That's all you need to do. But then make sure regroup. Rib cage up. Open. Drop your shoulders. Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Yeah, okay. Lean in. Just like that. So you should be taking a hit on the core because you've opened up here. Okay? And when you take a hit on the core, you take a hit on the back. That's how it's supposed to work. It should be a good hit. To be a good hit, you got to go rib cage up, open, shoulders down. Got it? Here we go. Second set. We're going to come 1, down, 2. See, it's a full knee extension. So I want you to come all the way up, right there. Squeeze that. See, that's the thing. So many of us, if we're not thinking about it, or if somebody's not there ragging on you, we forget and we want to get over with it. Squeeze this. Bring it in. Take a big breath. See, it's okay if you hip hinge in, take a break, open back. Squeeze. Bring it down. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Try not to turn. Try to keep your hips, your shoulders straight forward. Okay, just 3 more on this one. Here we go. Breath, exhale. Ruby dropped her bone. They've been chasing deer this morning. Ooh, here we go. Right there, right there, right there. And bring it in. Lean in. Lean in. Okay, now when you lean in this time, this is I'm inserting a little move here. See, I'm leaning in and I'm going to go to the side. See that? And I'm going to lean in, keep my chin tucked, lean to the side. Then I'm going to go back. Okay? Other leg. Other leg. So I'm going to go to the heel. I'm up here. It's going to swing freely. Open at the hips, up. Toe should be up. 1,000, 1,002. And what do I do during the 1,000, 1,002? Make sure that I am contracting this quad against this weight. Big breath. Boom. Right there. Big breath. Open. Drop your shoulders. Doom. Right there. Big breath. Open. Right there. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Big breath. Open. Right. Layer. And come back. Okay, just 1 or 2 more. We're still going off the premise of 2 sets. Take a big deep breath. We will get to 3. Okay. Inner set. I'm going to come up like this and come down. Now, some of you might say, well, why in the world I want to do that? Okay. We're going to work on these muscles here in just a second. So we're going to open. My toe is going to come up now. Now I'm really pulling up into dorsiflexion. And I'm going to do this kind of a little, I'm making a rug type thing, okay? Or you're stepping on the gas pedal, whatever that you think that you need to think about that motion. Open your hips, okay? Come up from the hip, because see, before it was a totally different move. It was coming from the knee. Okay, this is coming from a hip. The lift is coming up from this. All right, take a breath, and from this. So this is a different move than this. Okay, and if you put your fingers right here, you will see that. So you're going to open back, you're going to lift, come down, and do that contraction again. Okay, bring it in, open back, lift, now extend. Okay, so all of that before was to get you to this point, to be able to come back here, rib cage up, lift, and extend and hold 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, back down. Open, bring it up, out, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and back down. Okay, I'm just going to do 1 more of these. I want you to get this in your head. So I interjected this little extra move because it makes you do the extension of the knee extension, and the quad contraction much harder. All right, some of you are going, yeah, I felt that. Okay, here it is. Open back, drop my shoulders, drop my chin. Here I go. Toes are up. Lift, then just push. Push it right out there and hold. And you're staying ribcage up. Here we go. Breath, lift, and push that foot out. Okay, with my toe up, hold, 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 and bring it back in. You should have felt that all through here, all through here. Okay, so all of that came off of the beginning level knee extension. See that? That's what that came from. Okay, take a big breath. Push your hips back. And you're gonna stand up. Okie dokie. And any time that you do walking around, be careful. Soft knees, and just place your foot carefully. Okay? So now we're gonna go to one of the main moves, which is this one. Okay? And I don't know if you watched how I was leaning, and some of you might like it better if you are behind your chair. It's all up to you what your area is. Put your hand on a wall. Do whatever you need to do, but settle into the move. So I'm going to come right here. Okay? I can stand up straight. Then I can soften up my knees. Okay? Do a little experiment with me right now. If your hands are on the wall, great. Or if your hands are down on the chair. I kind of like the chair better, simply because when you're pushing on a wall, you tend to go in like that. Okay, so be aware of that. Number one. Number two, I'm going to take the leg out. I am not going to lean in order to get the leg out. I have to soften up my knees. I'm going to open, push down, open to right here, bring her in. Okay? Take a big breath, tight tummy, soften, little tiny bit of a hip hinge. It's so important to be in a hip hinge because if you just lock out and go throwing that leg out there, it's really not a very high quality move. Now, if you drop your shoulders, hip hinge a little, that means push the butt back. Shine your taillights a little. Bend the knee, okay, drop down, okay. Take a breath. Then you're into this leg, yes, but you are not leaning, okay? So I'm up, and I only go up, like, if you'll see here, yeah, I could turn my toe and go way up. That's not the point. The point is to stimulate those muscles, not only in your supporting hip and quad and hamstring, but your adductors and your abductors. Those are the muscles on the sides and on the insides of the hips. Okay? Soft knee, it's right here. You can hold it, bring it up, hold it, bring it up, hold it, bring it up. Keep that toe turned in, almost like in. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Okay, 3 more, and then we're going to hold it. I know I'm not counting it quite right. Kathy is. Here we go. Hold, 2, 3, 4, down. Okay. This side should be very hot. Okay. Just really, really firing. Okay. Switch. And before you switch, you're going to take your hands out like that. You're going to hip hinge, soft knees. Drop my shoulders right here, and then rotate See, what I'm doing is I'm prepping you for the fourth exercise coming up, or fifth exercise. See this? Come back. Open, open, open. Keep your chin tucked. Breath. Breath. I don't know about you, but I'm getting warm. Boom. Right like that. Okay. So we're taking a little interset here. Then I bring my hands down, and what's happening with my elbows? They come up. Yeah. All of that stuff we did in the warm-up, and then I'm just now really rotating into an up position with my elbows. Okay, so for a reason. Okay, we're on the other leg now. Ready? Kind of step in the middle of the supporting leg. What do we got going on here? Drop the shoulders. Hip hinge. When you hip hinge, you shine your taillights. See, if you're under here and you're not hip hinged, your taillights are not shining. I hope that helps. The cueing helps you. Hip hinge, rib cage up. Boom, right up through the back. That's why this is such a valuable move. Okay. Shift. Okay, into all four corners of your feet. Straight leg. Push down. And lift that leg out as high as you can with the heel or ankle leading. So hip hinge, knee hinge, boom. Bring it in, right there. Keep the toe in. Now, whatever weight you've got on there, okay? But whatever weight is on your ankles right now, just know that for our age ranges that we have in here, it should be anywhere from 8 to 10 pounds at least. And you're being able to do this and hold. Keep your toe headed into your instep. Yes, midline, into your midline. See how I'm coming up? My knee is soft. My hip hinge, I'm pushing down. Take a breath. Woo! Turn that toe in. We're holding 1,000, 1,002. Holding 1,000, 1,002. Okay, one more breath. Right there. Yay. All right. That was one of our required moves. Okay, that's just called the side hip raise. Side hip raise. I'm using their language. If you haven't noticed by now, the same move in many physical therapy and fitness circles, a lot of times the terminology is a little different. Okay, so they call this the side hip raise. All right, this is going to be the hip extension. So this is the required move with weights on your little ankle. Again, pressing down, trying not to go forward too much. And we're going to rotate. So we go back. And why are we going to rotate? Because you can't do two of these at the same time. Unless you're laying down on a machine. And we aren't. We are the machine. That's why I like free weight work. The other, machine weights have their place. However, you always, always, always have to learn how to move. So when I'm in this position, I'm very careful to keep my chin tucked, keep my shoulders down, and before I lift, straighten your leg. Before I lift, squeeze the butt muscle right there. If you don't squeeze the butt muscle first, you end up using other muscles. Okay? You just do. And if you have hips replaced, knees replaced, if you've had ankles with a problem, if you've had back issues, meaning if you've lived life a little bit, your body gets very smart in many ways. Other ways, no. It needs training because it will revert to the easier way, okay? Which creates imbalances in muscle strength, in using your joints correctly. You see what I'm doing? Now I haven't said it, but I'll bet you some of you are bringing your leg up without squeezing that butt. It's really hard for me to really squeeze through my gluteal on my hip replace side. And some of you are out there going, no lie, I'm so glad she said that, because that's exactly how it feels. I've got several people with hips replaced, and it is just a different animal to move around. And that's the way it is. Okay, but we still have to move around. We still have to train our muscles. Okay, shift. Going to the other side. So here I am. Okay, I don't want to lean from the waist. I am going to shift my whole weight. Then I'm going to bring my leg back, straighten it. Then I'm going to push down, take a big breath through the nose, squeeze the butt, and lift. And bring it down. It doesn't have to be way up, but the gluteal needs to be engaged. The hamstring needs to be engaged. Take a big deep breath, and then think about whatever weight you've got. It needs to be heading toward an 8-pounder or a 10-pounder in this lift. And see, if I hadn't taken the time during January, December, end of December and January, to work through the nuances of these lifts, you would not be ready to add weight. Your back couldn't handle it. Your joints in every way couldn't handle it. So let's review. Shoulders are down. Always breathing through the nose. Regularly, don't hold your breath. You exhale on the effort. E-E. That's a simple way to remember it. Keep your hands pressing down. Try to stay into this post leg. Rib cage up. Squeeze your butt. Lift. Woo! Take a breath. Lift. Take a breath. Yes. Or release the breath. However it needs to be for you to do E-E. Okay, don't take them off yet. All right, we're gonna move on down. I'm making sure I'm going into, so we did the 2 required side hip raise and the hip extension. Okay, I want you to know this terminology. I want you to get these in your head. Whatever you do else, side hip raise, hip extension. See that? Then we did the knee extension, and I added some. Okay, right this minute, this is not a requirement. I'm just going to add it for a movement component and to tweak that hamstring muscle. Okay, so if you have a pretty good weight on your ankle, you do a little shift. See, this is very different. This is a very different hip motion. Okay, very different. See, I'm shifting and I'm lifting. And you notice my knee is not coming up. The minute that I do this move with a client or in class with people that are in class, or if I do it with kids, you know what they do? They do this. See, that's not what I'm doing. I'm bringing the heel to the hip. Shift, breath, exhale, heel to the hip. And I'll just do it carefully because, let me warn you, if you throw that heel to the hip and you try to go up and squeeze the hamstring here, you're going to start yelling and grabbing back there. Some of you know what I mean. Yes, that's what happens to overachieving slugs. I'm going to really do this. And they go like this and they squeeze too hard or they lift too high and their hamstring is not quite there yet. And that's why I'm putting this little move in as a little intercept move. just setting it, inset move. I'm insetting it into the basic program. This is not part of the basic program. See how I'm just moving, shifting, pulling, squeezing. Not hard. Drop your shoulders. Squeeze. Bring that heel up and back. It needs to get used to doing that kind of load. Yeah. Don't squeeze too hard. Don't overlean. Just a couple more into this little inset. Couple more. Okie dokie. Take a big deep breath. I told you we weren't done. All right. Press down. This is our last set of the hip extension. So bring the hip, extend the hip here. See that? Now before you go to lift, straighten the leg. Okay? Drop the shoulders, tighten. Now squeeze the gluteal and lift. And you're gonna hold 1001, 1002. Take a breath. Exhale. Take a breath. Exhale. Yeah. Take a big breath through the nose, through the nose, through the nose. Usually if you will breathe through the nose, you will approach the deep breathing techniques that many people are, talking about these days. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm glad they figured that out. These young trainers, they think they discovered all this. Okay, are you ready? Drop your shoulders, which I'm glad for. Second set, take the leg back. That's number one. Drop your shoulders. Just know what weight you're using. Yeah, because it needs to start coming up. Okay, that's why you got to keep doing this on a regular level. What's wrong? Ruby fell off her stool. Okay, take a breath. Rib cage up. You'll lean in a little bit, but just fight it by lifting your rib cage. Okay, squeeze your gluteal. Do not throw the leg. Go lay down. Go lay down. Live clash, you guys, with dogs. Take a breath. Drop shoulders. Boom. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Yeah. Take a breath. Rib cage up. Right there. Squeeze that gluteal. Rib cage up. Oh! Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. And come back in. Okay. So we work through about 2 sets. Yeah. Thereabouts. Okay. Now, see how I'm carefully going to ambulate a little bit? I don't move fast with, I do not move fast when I have leg weights on. Okay, now we're going to go to upper body. We're going to do 3 upper body moves. So, and I'm using the terminology she used. This is a bicep curl. So I'm going to go ahead and up my weights. And some of you might want to know, well, what am I supposed to be using, Jeannie? And I'm going to tell you that if you're 70 plus years, you should be able to use in a bicep curl 8 to 10 pounds. Okay. And that's for women. For men, you should probably be 3 to 5 pounds more. Okay. 50 to 69, you need to be able to do 10 to 12. Okay. Are you ready? So I'm going to stand on this. You can do all of these upper body moves sitting down. I've done it many times when people sit seated. But if you're going to stand and you got leg weights, center yourself. Okie dokie. Right here. Yeah, a little wider than the hips. Come right here. You're going to turn. You're going to go pull. Now I'm doing them both together. You don't have to. You can do one and then the other. So some of you might have wrists, hands, thumbs that give you a problem. If you can do it, together. We'll do it together. Let's just do this. Let's do one at a time. There's a lot of value in doing that. Okay, one side of the body, other side of the body. And I always stay with a soft knee. And as I go into this move, see, I don't stand board straight. Okay, you cannot chop wood if you stood board straight. It's not super functional. Okay, so that's why I do a full body hip hinge, pull, exhale, then I come back down. Then I come back down. So I'm going to turn to the side so you see that. So it's an up, pull, down. Keep your shoulders down. Take big breaths as you're lifting. Exhale. Bring it in. Okay. Breathe in. Take a big breath. Say rib cage up. Rib cage up. Ah. So I've got 12 today. Take a big breath. Exhale. Even if you have to exhale through your mouth, try to inhale through your nose. Take a big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Okay. I didn't count. I'm going to put these here, right on my little chair. I'm going to open my hands out. I'm going to do my cross crawl. Okay? Now, I have weights on my legs. I don't have to bring my knee up. I could go to my toe. That'd be fine. So I could go like this. But here's what you got to get. I am not bending my back. I'm not hunching over in order to do that. That's not the point. I'm trying to do an intercept that's going to release tension that you built up on that move. Okay? So I'm turning and I'm approaching with my elbow. See that? So as I approach with my elbow, I do a hip hinge. See that? Just like that. Yeah, that little move right there. See this? Hip hinge, boom. Keep my chin tucked, hip hinge, boom. And back, okay? Now, I'm gonna grab my weights again. Before I change my weights, because I am gonna change them, as I'm on this little journey with you, I'm gonna come in here again, and I'm gonna start my set. Breath, exhale. Breath, exhale. Breath, exhale. Breath, rib cage up. Always saying rib cage up. Big breath, drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. See how I'm bringing them right down here? And before I was coming in here, coming right down here. Pull. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Exhale. Breath. Yeah. Keep your wrist in neutral. Yeah. Breath. Go. And it's counted 1 and 2 and. And Kathy knows exactly where we are. We're going to do 3 more. Here we go. Don't jerk. Exhale. Okay, I'm going to go both. Yeah. Go. 1 more. Bring her down. Okay. So now I'm going to go in a row. I'm going to do an upright row. So I have a shoulder that many times will give me troubles. So anytime I start doing weights, I will lower the weight load. I will come here and I will come up and I'll check it. And I'll see if I can get to just the chest. See, drop my shoulders. I'll come right here and come back down. See that? Take a breath, exhale, and come back down. So I'm hip hinged. You see that? I'm hip hinged. I'm gonna come in here, drop my shoulders, drop my chin, hip hinge, bring it right there to the chest. Right there to the chest. Okay, my elbows are up. Big breath. Ready? Exhale. Right there. Big breath. Ah. So why is this one important? Well, you expect to dress yourself. You got to be pretty functional with your elbows up, taking your clothes on and off. Breath and back down. Drop your shoulders, drop your chin, rib cage up. Ah! And back down. Take a big breath. Exhale. And back down. Exhale. And back down. Keep your shoulders down, shoulders down, shoulders down. And back down. Yay. All right. Take a big breath. Kind of let your weights rest for a second. Open your hands. See, I still have leg weights on my legs, so I'm not ambulating around a lot. And the ambulation that I do, I make sure is very measured, okay? Drop my shoulders, yes. Open my hands, yes. Rotate back and forth. And when you come to this position, you really pull up the rib cage. You keep your knees soft and you rotate and you round your shoulder, round your shoulder. Why? Because I'm resetting all those shoulder muscles. Giving them a little rest. See the shoulder? See the shoulder? See how I'm bringing my shoulder up to my ear, up my ear, up my ear. Now I'm going forward right now. Now I'm going to go backward, 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 backward. Yeah. Do not discount shoulder rolling. It is a very important move in the proper functioning of your shoulders. Given injuries, given poor postures, given hunching over, and all of that. Now go back up with both of them. Go back with both of them. Drop them down with both of them. Then come forward with both of them. That's the motion that I want you to get in your little head that will help you have better shoulder function. We're going to hit the second set. I know you were looking forward to it, weren't you? We're going to get through this, okay? Because we're running out of time. Here we go. Here we go. So it's right here. I have 12 on one hand. I have 9 on the other. Because I don't want to kick up injury in an already tricky shoulder. So I'll come up like that and then come up. Okay? And especially if you have a shoulder issue, bring one up, then the other up, and then put them both down together. That's perfectly fine. Okay, do you see what the movement is? The movement is a hip hinge and out of a hip hinge. Hip hinge and out of a hip hinge. I'm out of a hip hinge, I'm in a hip hinge. Got it? Every time I do the hip hinge, I strengthen my back extensors. Every time. Okay? So all these upper body moves are core and back. Okay? Ground your feet. What do I mean by that? I mean, feel the pressure on all 4 corners, okay? When you're in a hip hinge, push to the heels a little and then come back. So you're constantly shifting, okay? Ready? I'm gonna come up with one and up with the other. And I'm gonna really pull my elbows back. Then I'm gonna take them both down. Take a breath through the nose. Exhale and exhale. Hold those elbows back against that weight. Then put them both down. Take a breath. Exhale. Exhale. Pull back hard. And then down together. And I'm in a big hip hinge. See, I'm not just standing up there, screwing out my back. I'm strengthening it. Here we go. Push. Exhale. Exhale. Ah! Pull them back. Open, 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 down. Take a big breath. Here we go. Lift, lift, pull, and bring them down. Yay. Okay, I wanted to put that little element back in there. Okay, now I'm gonna change this one back to 12. Why? Because I'm fixing to do a bent over or a seated bent over row. This is one of the moves I've changed in the 8 requirements because I want to hit my triceps without putting my hand up over my head. Okay, lean in, push, squeeze, bring it back in. Push, squeeze, bring it back in. Push, squeeze. What am I squeezing? I'm squeezing my shoulder blades down and in together as I squeeze the back part of my arms. And when I say squeeze, I mean you're contracting. Take a breath. Keep your chin tucked. Squeeze. Okay, keep those back there. Keep them back there. Hit the backs of those arms. Backs of the arms. Backs of the arms. Take a breath. Yes, there's other ways, but this is with free weights, a really good way if you will contract the backs of those arms to hit those tricep muscles. Breath, breath. Keep your chin tucked. Breath. 2 more. Breath. 1 more. Breath. Okay, I'm watching the clock. I'm going to stand you up and we're going out with these 2. You ready? Here we go. I'm going to get my chair in place and I'm going to go up into the toes, squeeze the gluteals, bring them down. Okay. If you've been troubled with plantar fasciitis, okay, this is one of the ones, this one and the heel one, that you've got to get better at. I'm doing it with weights on my legs to add to the total lift. Okay? Now, you can get the next phase is to be on your step, a stair. See how I'm coming up? Squeezing, releasing. Squeeze, release. Why do I want you to squeeze and release the whole time? Because I want you to get used to what it feels like to contract the gluteal muscles. Really contract them, okay? They go to sleep. And why? Because we sit on them. Okay, so when I come up into my toe box, see, I am squeezing my butt muscles and back down and squeeze and up. And then you go into the heel lift. Yeah, I didn't do all of them because time is fleeting. So now I'm going to put fingertips and I'm going to bring my heels down, my toes up. And you can do it one at a time. I like to do them both. And I would just say anytime through your day that you want to give yourself a good break, get up against a wall and do some heel lifts and toe lifts. Okay, and do it against a wall or with minimal help. Number 1, it will stress your balance muscles, but it will also massage your legs and your feet, etc. Also, our time is going, so I'm gonna say Happy New Year. Okay, keep those muscles contracting because that's the only ways you're going to get your bones up. Okay, Happy New Year.